So today we will be doing some exercises on data visualization, and we will be revising some of our old concepts of data pre-processing using different functions or pivot table, etc. while doing so. So here we have a data. It's a data with around 675 observations, and it is showing serial number, some order ID, order date, shipping date, ship mode, some customer ID, customer name, some segment, that is the type of consumer they are serving, country, city, state, postal code, region, product ID category, different subcategories, product name, sales figure, quantity, discount, and profit. So we will work with this data and show different types of data visualization. So let's start with a simple bar diagram. To make a bar diagram, we will be To make a bar diagram, first we will pre-process the data a little bit. So first, let's start with the simplest one, that is the clustered bar diagram. So here I have copied the order date, the date of placing the order, and the sales figure. So let's do it once again. So there is the order date. I'm copying the whole thing and pasting it in this clustered in this tab. So let's paste it here. So here we have the date, and now we want to show the month-wise sales figure for the year 2016. So I will be using the delimit function. So let's go to data, text to column. So data, text to column, and then next. So here we are having a dash between the date, month, and year. So my separating identification will be the dashed sign, and then I'll click on next, and I want to paste my data here. So, and then finish. So I have the separate column of order date and month and year. Now I have already copied the sales figure. I will copy paste this thing here. I did it earlier also. I have just done it to show you how to do it. And now I have the sales figure. So now here I will paste the months and the total sales for the year 2016. So first I have written the name of the month, January to December. And to get the total sales figure for a particular month, I'm using the SUMIFS function. So SUMIFS, let me show you how did I do it. So SUMIFS, first I'll take the sum range, that is the sales figures, something that we have here. Followed by two criterias. See here, I want to drag and drop things. Now, if I drag it in the next cell, this D2 will become D3 and this D676 will become D677. So here I am fixing the cell number by a dollar sign. Now my criteria is first month should be 1 for January and year should be 2016. So let's start with the year. So this column should take the value 2016. And again, I'm fixing the cells with the dollar sign. And next, let's work with the month column. So again, my second criteria should be this month. Again, I'm fixing the particular cell by the $sign. And this should be 1 for January. Okay, so that's it. I needed this only. So my total sales in January is coming to this. And now I'll drag and drop. Now everywhere it is showing the January figure. So gradually I'll change the months. February, then 3 for March, then 4 for April, then 5 for May, then 6 for June, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and finally 12 for December. So I have the sales figure for different months for the year 2016. So let's start with my bar diagram. So the first and foremost, we'll be doing a column diagram. So see, there are two types of column diagrams. One is the simple column diagram and the second one is the stacked column diagram. So let's start with the simple column diagram. So I'll select the data, which is this thing. I'm showing the month and total sales here. So that's it. So I have the bar diagram for this. And now I can edit the chart title. Whatever name I want, maybe it's a figure 1, or maybe it's just a column diagram, or maybe the column diagram on monthly sales or 2016, whatever name I want to show here, that I can write here. And obviously horizontal axis is showing the months and the vertical axis is showing the sales figure. So that's the clustered bar diagram. And next we'll be doing the stacked bar diagram case. So here I want to show that how a cross tabulation between the name of the states and the type of shipping mode, first class, second class, or same day, whatever shipping mode they opted for. So let's make a pivot table here. So my table range is this thing. Okay, and here we have the number of orders here. And so in the existing workbook, we'll paste our pivot table here. So next, so what we want the shipping mode in the column. So we'll drag shipping mode to the columns, and we want the state in my rows. So state, I'm putting it in the rows, and in the values, I'll show the sum of quantities. So this gives my pivot table. So we have the state names here and the type of shipping mode they opted for here. And here we have the grand total. But to make this particular chart, we don't require the grand total right now. So since there are too many values, obviously this chart will look a little messy, but let's show you how to do it. So again, insert, and here we are selecting the stacked column diagram. There are different types of stacked column diagram. This can be done, this can be done. Like whenever there are different section under the same row, we can use this stacked column diagram. See, here we have for every state here we have four particular section, same first class, same day, second class, and standard delivery. So let me show you this. Let's start with this particular column diagram, stacked column diagram. So again, I'll be selecting my data. So my data, I'm not selecting the grand total section. I'm just selecting different states and delivery option they have opted for. So this is my stacked column diagram. See, since the some values are too small as compared to other, it is a little difficult to view different sections. But see, this is the second class. The green portion shows the second class for California. And there are different segments here. So since this looks a little messy, I can change the chart type. I'll delete this one and I will be opting for some other type of clustered bar diagram. Stacked column diagram. So I'm selecting this one. So again, I'm selecting the data, that is this thing. And finally, this. So see, in this particular case, we are seeing different columns for different types of delivery options they have opted for. Okay, so this is the same day and this is the standard class. This is the standard class for California. This is the standard class for Colorado. This is the green one is showing the second class for the point for the state Colorado, and this one is showing the same day for the point Colorado. So this is how I can make a stacked bar diagram here. Then let's move on to the line diagram. In this line diagram, usually we use the concept of we use line diagram for time series data. So here I have 4 years, that is 2014, 2015, 16, 17, and 18, and we have the total profit. We have so again, I will be copying the order date here and pasting it here. And finally, we have divided the column into date and year, just like we did earlier using the delimit function. So here we have different years, different months, and the total profit and the profit values. So here what we have done, we have calculated the total profit for each year. So for that, what function I have used, that is the SUMIF function. So see, here we are not concerned about the month, we are only concerned about the year. So first I will be selecting the profit range. Earlier I arranged the data year wise to check how many years I have. So it is a little jumbled in order, but okay, it will be able to serve our purpose. So my criteria is for 2014, I will be setting the year 2014. So I select the entire year column and this should be 2014 in this case. So I'm closing the bracket. Just a minute, I think I have done some mistake. This will go at the end. So this is my range. This is my criteria and my sum range will be this. So in case of some sales, sum if the range or the values that you need to sum up will go at the end. So this is my total profit. So again, total profit for 2014. So again, I will be setting the cells using the dollar sign and then drag and drop. So here, so this time, this is for 2015, this is for 2016, this is for 2017, and this one is for 2018. So now we will be making a line diagram, a line diagram that will be showing my year-wise profit or the profit across the year. So let's start with a two-dimensional line, a simple line or a simple line diagram. So again, I will be selecting my data. So this is my year and total profit. So see, and this is my line diagram. So across the year, it is showing different thing. Now, see, in this axis, it is giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want this. I want to change the axis. So here, the horizon, in case of horizontal axis, I will be selecting these years so that I can see the years in my horizontal axis. So that's it. In the vertical axis, it is showing the profit, and in the horizontal axis, it is showing different year. Again, chart title, I will be changing it to line diagram on profit. Line diagram or profit. That's it. Okay, there is a spelling here. Error. There is a typing error here. So that's it. So this is my line diagram for profit. Now it looks a little bit messy. So we'll be putting in the center. So that's it. So let's move on to the stacked line diagram. Okay, let me show you one more thing. This line diagram, we can change the chart type into maybe this one was a line diagram. I want a three-dimensional line diagram. So I can change it. This is the three-dimensional line diagram. So let's move on to the stacked line diagram. Here, I want to show the type of customer and the profit from that particular type of customer. So here I have chosen just two types of customer. One is the consumer, another is the home office. Now here I have put the year and the profit as well. So to calculate the profit, again I have used the SUMIF function. So SUMIFs function, and I have put the profits here. So again, I'm showing you how did I do it. So first, for 2014, I want to calculate the profit for the consumer type of uh, customer. So my sum range will be first, I will select my sum range, that is the profit column. Okay. Then my criteria 1. So my first criteria is I want it for the year 2014. So my first criteria will be I'll be selecting the year. And this year should be 2014. Again, I will be fixing the cells with the dollar sign. And then my second criteria should be the type of customer should be the consumer type customer. So again, I will be selecting the consumer segment or the customer segment. And again, I will be fixing up the cells using the dollar sign. And this should be consumer. Enter. So this gives me the sales figure for the consumer type of customer segment and for the year 2014. So in the same way, I have calculated the the volume of the sum of profit or the total profit for the years 2015, 2016, 2017 and 18. And I have done the same thing for the home office type of consumer segment or customer segment for the year 2014 to 2018. So now I will be making the stacked line diagram. Just like your stacked bar diagram showed different segments under the same city, different segments of shipping, different types of shipping methods under the same city. So this one will be showing you the profit from different segment of customer for a particular year. So let's start with this stacked line diagram. Okay. So my select data. See, here we will be adding different series. So first, let's start with the series name consumer, and my series values will be this much here, and then okay. And for the second series, my series name will be home and home office, and my series values will be the profit, the total profit for this segment of consumer. Okay, again my horizontal axis is showing 1 2 3 4 5, and I don't want that. So my horizontal axis, I will be selecting 2014 to 2018. See, the same axis will be repeated, same value, same years will be repeated for the second segment as well. And then okay, click on okay. So this gives me my chart or my stacked line diagram. Again, if I want to change it into the three-dimensional chart that I want, I can do it. So this is my 3D stacked line diagram. So I can change it into a three-dimensional line if I want. So let's move on to another common diagram that we often do, that is the pie diagram. So here I have I want to show the shipping mode and the percentage of shipping mode the consumers have opted for. So here there are 4 types of shipping mode, that is first day, first class, same day, second class, and standard shipping. And I will be counting the frequency. So here I'm using the count if function. So let's start with, let me show you how did I do it. So count if, so this is my range. And again, I will be fixing the cell with the dollar sign. And what do I want here? I want the first class. So that is my criteria. So I'll close the bracket and here we go. So there are 104 first class shipping. So in the same way, I have calculated the frequency for the same day, second class and standard class, and I have also given you the total. So what I want a pie diagram. So let's start with the two-dimensional pie. So again, select data. So what is my data? This is my data, first class and different class and their frequencies. See, I don't have to convert into relative frequency or something like that. It will be automatically taking it as a percentage, and horizontal axis, it has already taken the different types of class. And okay, so this is my pie diagram. I will be changing the name of the diagram to So this is my two-dimensional pie diagram. If I want to change it into a three-dimensional pie diagram, I can do it. So this is my three-dimensional pie diagram. I have changed the type of pie diagram I wanted. And there is another type of diagram that shows the relative frequency of a particular class or the percentage. That is the donut chart. So I can make a donut chart from the same data, and I'm showing you how can I do it. So let's go to insert, then the donut chart. And again, I will be selecting the data. So this is my series range. And that's it. So chart title, whatever title I want, I can put it here. So that's it. This gives me the donut chart. So I have the pie diagram and the donut chart together here. So that's it. So let's move on to another type of diagram, which is the histogram. Now, histogram shows the class frequency, the frequency of each class. And if I want, I can identify the model class or the class with highest frequency from a histogram. So that will be doing now. So here I have taken profit as my variable, and I want to create a frequency distribution on this and represent the frequency distribution using the histogram. So what I can do here, so let's, if I want, I can create the frequency distribution using the pivot chart. But here, I'm not interested in making a frequency distribution. I just want to show you the histogram. So let's start with the histogram, and then the select data, I will be select this for this series one only. My chart data will be the profit. And that's it. So here we get the fixed histogram. Now this particular histogram looks very messy, and we can see only the model class here. But again, this class is also not visible, and this looks a little messy. So now I want to change the horizontal axis. I want a particular class width or a particular number of classes here. So I can click on format axis, and here I'm getting several options. So I can change, here they have taken the bin width or the class width at 85. I want it 150. So here, see, it's a better representation, and at least I can show that this particular class is having the highest frequency. But again, it looks a little messy. So now I want to divide this whole frequency distribution to 10 classes. So number of bins, I have taken it into tens. So here, see, for these extreme values, the frequency is so negligible. Only this particular class is having the highest frequency, that is 61. That is the 61 frequency I'm getting. So I can change this. I can change the class width or the number of classes I want you by formatting the category axis, formatting this particular axis like this. Okay, so here another type of um, diagram is the Pareto chart, which shows the relative frequency of each class as well. So this, I can change it into Pareto chart like this if I want. And finally, I will be showing you the box and whisker plot that gives us some idea about the statistical distribution. So I'm clicking on box and whisker, and then I will be selecting the data. So the data is profit. And that's it. So Here we go. Here we have the box and whisker plot. And this shows there is a very high concentration in data and there are a few outliers. The dots outside this box and whisker plot is your outlier. And dot is looking a little messy since we have very high concentration here. So the plot is not clearly visible and we have a huge number of data here. But otherwise, it shows the maximum value, minimum value, and median and two other quartiles. So that's the box and whisker plot. And the last thing that I will be doing is the scatter diagram. It's a diagram that shows the relation between two variables. See, I can show the relation between two variables using the correlation coefficient or sometimes using regression too. But if I don't know what is it, or if I want to show if the check before doing any regression or before doing any kind of numerical, before calculating any numerical value, I may want to see whether there is a relationship between the two and or not, and then we can use the scatter diagram. So let's take this particular scatter diagram because it looks less messy. So my select data, see here, I will be putting the X value and the Y value. So my series name will be scatter diagram on profit. So my X values, quantity, obviously profit should be related to the quantity of sales. So my X value, as my X value, I am taking quantity, and the dependent variable or the Y values, I am showing as profit. See, in correlation, there is no dependent or independent variable. There is no causality, obviously, just two variables, and I'm showing the relationship between the two. But in case of regression, we have one dependent variable and one or more independent variables. So this is my scatter plot. Now I want, this is how we can make a scatter plot. Or I can change the diagram if I want. Instead of this, I can select something like some other type of scatter plot as well. And I can add the trend line. See here, linear, logarithmic, any type of trend line or a line showing the relationship between the two variable, I can add. And if I want, I can display the R square value, that is the square of the correlation coefficient, or maybe the regression equation if I want. So I can click on the display regression equation or display R square value and chart, and it will be showing you the regression equation and R square value. See here, I can hardly find any trend. It's just a horizontal line. So this is why the R square value is too low and the regression equation looks like this. But for a better data, we can find proper positive value, a large R square value, and better results. But here, this data is not that good. So that's it. That's the data visualization session for you all. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much. So I'll be ending my recording. Thanks so much.